bring awareness to anything that's going on in the world today, and especially about diseases or any type of informational or informative information for people. To help them or someone that they may know. So November is COVID awareness. COVID strictly stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which refers to a group of diseases that causes airflow blockage and breathing related problems. So some of the leading causes is smoking, heavy fumes like gas and stuff like that, chemicals, dust, air pollution, and they are saying it's kind of related to genetics, but I can kind of see that, but they're still doing research on it. Just for some of the resources on that, you can go and follow up on the www.copdfoundation.org or the CDC. Of course, their website is cdc.gov, or you can also go to the National Heart, Lung, Blood Institute. They also have great information there as well. And as always, I like to always start out all of my shows, and I don't know who it helps, but I just feel like this is just something that's inspiring for everybody. This is a quote that's written from me, for me, believe it or not, and I'm sharing it with you. Today's quote is Lily entry number 324, and it simply states, love yourself more by accepting that you are different and not depend on others to validate you. That's very important, especially in the world that we are in right now. So before we go any further, I would like to bring on my very special guest host today. See, I can't, he ain't there. So he's joining me from New Orleans. So my guest host, his name is Mr. Andrew Thomas. He is from New Orleans. Mr. Thomas he is an author. He's a community activist, a minister, a poet, an entrepreneur, and a motivational speaker. Love this guy. I do follow some of his work as well. So I chose him to do this interview today. So without further ado, I would like to bring up Mr. Andrew Thomas. Hi, Andrew.
Good evening. Good evening, Kimberly. Good evening, everyone. Each and every one of you that are tuned in, I having such a great day. We're going to get down into knowing who Kimberly truly is and what inspires her. So without further ado, we're going to get right on into it if she's ready.
I'm ready. Let's go for it, boo.
So Ms. Kimberly, I think the world wants to know, start off by knowing who you truly are. What is your name? I'm speaking of any name that you go by or actually use.
You trying to get all up in the business, like look, I might have people looking for me. What you talking about? I was kidding. I'm joking. I ain't got it like that. But no. So my actual name, I have a long name. So my actual name is Kimberly Hope. Believe it or not, is my middle name. Struthers is my maiden last name. And then my first last name, Mary, is Clark, and then Wilson. I was married twice, and unfortunately, my second husband passed away. So I still use all of my names. Okay, that's just me. I work for them names. I earned them, so I use them. No. So, okay, y'all, never mind. That's an inside joke. So don't worry about that.
So tell me, Miss Struthers, if I may, where exactly are you from?
I'm still a Wilson. I'm just a widow. Don't do that.
Miss Struthers Wilson.
So where am I from? Okay, so I'm kind of from two different places. I was born in Mississippi, and I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, but pretty much raised in Brookhaven. And that's south of Macomb. Well, it's north of Macomb, maybe about 30 minutes from Macomb, Mississippi. So I went to elementary school there in Mississippi, and probably maybe the last part of elementary, I then went to or relocated to Kenner, Louisiana, which is right outside of New Orleans. So I went the second part of elementary school, and then I progressed and stayed there until I got into middle school, which is / unquote junior high. Okay. From there, I moved back to Mississippi and I went back to Brookhaven High School for the last part of my junior high school, all the way up until I finished, graduated from high school there. And then I moved back to New Orleans to attend college. And I went to Xavier University, class of 94, Xavier University and the University of New Orleans. So here's the kicker. You know, you're probably wondering how in the world did I end up in Dallas? Well, okay. So my little adventurous self, as you can tell, all my life I've been back and forth and back and forth. It's just all my life. So I decided that I wanted something different. You know, at 19 years old, what could you possibly think you want different? I decided to relocate to Dallas. Houston's cool, no shade to my Houston people, love it, but Dallas just seems to be that place for me. I relocated here to Dallas and went to school here and finished out at DeVry University in communications and marketing, as well as business information systems. So from there, that's where my life has began. It started. And I've been living here now for about 26 years. It's been about 26 years. So for my Dallas people, I know they probably like, girl, you from Dallas. Ain't no such thing. You've been here half your life. You from Dallas. So no offense, home.
Is it safe to assume that you have a very diverse background when it comes to education?
Yeah, because I crave for education or information. So it's like I love, you know, doing my thing, like learning. That's just something that I'm really big on. I don't think that just because it's in the text, it's not, in the textbook, or just because you don't get a degree in it that you can't be active in it or productive in it. So I love to learn. So yeah, I got a lot of skill sets. I'll tell you that.
Well, you seem to have such a bubbly personality.
Yes.
So, is there any siblings? And if so, are any of them as bubbly as you are?
Oh, you know what? To believe it or not, I'm the only girl biologically. I'm the only girl. I had 4 brothers, one of which was a twin, but he passed away. So I have my 2 older brothers. And what's crazy, I was born in the middle, and then it was me and my twin. So I was born first, and then it was my twin, and then I have my baby brother. So as far as bubbly, I don't know. I think not really. They are, but they not. Boys are a little different. Like my brothers are very conservative. So in a sense, well, I take that back. My oldest brother, he works offshore, so he be wilding out. he's a bubbly person, you know. But for the most part, we all have our own. But I think by far, I'm probably the most energetic person that we got amongst us.
So now we're gonna see what the children are like. Any children? How many? And what are they like?
Oh Lord! All right, so I have 3 children, and for those that do know me, you know, I'm really big on family. If I probably got more than that for real. But birth wise, I only gave birth to 3 children. I have an oldest son. He will be 21 on Monday. Whoop, whoop, happy birthday. He'll be 21. And then I have twins that are 16. It's a girl and a boy. And they are, I will tell you this, all of my kids have my energy. They just misplace it. They just misplace it. But yeah, so my 3 kids are pretty much, they keep me going for sure.
Okay. So tell me, we know that you've been married.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to know, how long were you married for?
Well, the first time it was 18 years, and unfortunately that was a divorce, and ended in divorce. And the second time, my husband and I dated for about 2.5 years. We got married, and before our 1-year anniversary, he passed away.
Wow.
He passed away.
Our condolences goes out to you.
Yeah, so it's been a journey, I tell you that. But you know, we get through it, you know.
Yes, ma'am. So now we want to get down to the nitty gritty.
Oh,
we want to know, what is it that you actually do?
Whew. Okay, my day job or my night job or that any day job?
We
Which
want to
one?
know. We want to know everything that Kimberly Hope has her hands tied into.
Oh
So
man.
we just want to know. We're inquiring minds.
Okay, so where do I start? I told you earlier I have a lot of skill sets, so I do a lot. Um, heavily into claims because that's pretty much part of my first job that I started. So I'm into claims or claims management. I handle claims, even if they're catastrophe claims, whatever type of claim it is, I'm pretty much handle it. Have my all lines adjuster's license. I never got rid of it. I just felt like that's just something that you're gonna need, and like I told you, I'm always hungry for information and wanting to learn. So for about 7 years, I've been working in personal injury in the legal side. In the midst of all of that, I I got so tied up into the legal side, I started to learn different things about contracts and, you know, the agreements that you have with different people and that type of business that they do. So it sparked me to learn more about writing 501c3 contracts and marketing and that kind of stuff. So I dabble do with that on the side. Oh my geez. Recently I recently acquired management, add another notch. I'm always been in management, but this particular part of management is actually entertainment. With my legal background, it does help the entertainer understand certain parts of their contract and what we do, and what services I can provide to help those clients. So people are my thing, so that's my niche and I love it so much, so I drive towards those type of careers or those types. Some people say jobs, but it's what I love to do, so it's not a job for me. It actually comes easy. I just gotta be careful that I don't stretch myself too thin and I'm exhausted, but for the most part, I do a little bit of everything. I'm a mama, a coach, an admin, you name it, I got it all.
So I know that you have your hands tied up into a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what the one thing that you truly love doing and how long you've been doing it.
Oh man, Ball Talk, the podcast. I absolutely love it. Why I love it so much is because, like I said, I'm a people's person, and I just like to see people win. So I'm, just going through things in life. You have your hard knocks. You go through those things and those challenges. So for me, I've always gotten in trouble as a little kid talking so much. Oh my God.
Yes.
And to this day, anybody that know me know, her Lord, Kim gonna talk. She gonna talk. But it was something that my great grandmother told me. Yeah, real talk. My great grandmother said to me a long time ago, she said, listen, she said, that girl talk. She said, baby, there's nothing wrong with you talking so much. Just long as you make sure that what you're saying makes sense. And I just prided myself on that. And that stuck with me. She said, you have a lot to say. One day you're going to say it and it's going to reach a whole lot of people. So don't ever stop doing what you're doing and continue to be you. So Ball Talk definitely is that platform that was provided for me to do it. So talking is what I love to do. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, so who is the inspiration behind what you do?
My inspiration?
Who?
Oh, wow.
Who you seek to inspire with what you do?
Wow. Oh, wow. I would definitely say my matriarchs, my grandmothers. They played a valuable part in my life growing up. My grandmothers, my moms, they are the solid rock to keep going. Just strong women. I see it, and no shade to the men, that have played a part in my life as well. But for sure, I would say my grandmothers. I'm that one grandkid that would sit there and just be in grown folks' business. I was that one that sat there and just sucked it all in and just took it all in and was able to take it and not use it in a bad way, but I utilized it, you know, because they had a lot to say, and it was like it was important. Those things and those lessons or nuggets that we use now were important for me growing up, and that I can really contribute a lot of where I am today for my grandmothers and my moms.
Okay. So tell me what the hardest challenge you face in doing what it is that you do.
Whew. It's seeing people give up. You know, my life has not been easy. I will say that. It has not been easy. People see the outside, they see the smile, they see the happy, but they don't really know the struggle. The what you had to go through to get to where you are. And I know if I can come through those trenches, like really come through it, I know you can. So the hardest part in this era of what I do is watching people give up on themselves, because you're the most important part in this life. You have no control over the hands that you were dealt in life. You have no control over that. You just have to play the game. Don't forfeit. Don't quit. Whatever you do, just don't quit. Yeah, people gonna like it. Some people gonna hate it, but just don't quit. And that's the biggest challenge for me, is to pour into people so much and give so much of myself to people, and then just watch them just throw it all away. And I get it. No, everybody's not like me and don't think like I do, but the hardest part is just watching them just give up when they were just right there. You were right there. So
Okay, so you spoke on watching people give up.
mm-hmm.
In the midst of watching people give up, are there any regrets that you have in pouring in so much time and energy into someone and then watching them give up?
Not so much regret for me. I don't think so. I really don't have any regrets. If I could do it all over again, you know, I would do it again. I can't, again, it's just the only regret, like I said, I have to go back to watching people just give up. It's like, man, if you knew what I've gone through, I mean, it's stuff that family don't know about that I've gone through, but it's just having that hope to hold on. It's just staying inspired, just keep going. Whatever you do, keep going. And here's a little analogy. See, that's that talking finna come on, child. Granny said has something to say, and I got something to say. It's something that I always remember about a storm. I look at life, you're gonna have those storms that come and go in your life, And the one thing that a storm is designed, the way that a storm is designed is for you to go through it. Never for you to sit in it. Never for you to get complacent or stagnant because you got lightning. When a storm comes, the first thing you do is take cover, right? Right?
Yes.
That's the first thing you do. So for me, I've always taken all the challenges, no matter what they were, to just go through it's just a storm. This storm ain't gonna last always. And there were times or a period in my life where I had that rain cloud that was following me everywhere I went. It seems like everything was just going crazy. But even with that rain cloud, I still managed to take cover. My shield was my prayer. That was my shield. That's what kept me going, because that's all I had was just my prayer. When you can't find somebody or reach for people to be that, to help you through it, you got to know how to get through it. And it's that compass, that prayer, so that the storm in lives, all your storms in lives are meant for you or are designed for you to go through. Don't sit stagnant. Just don't be stagnant.
If you can change anything that transpired in your life, what would you change?
Nothing. I'm being real. Nothing.
So you believe that everything that happened in your life presented a purpose?
Absolutely. Everything that you go through is a purpose. It's either a lesson. It has to be a lesson in everything you go through. There's a lesson in it. and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and act like I got it all together, because I don't. Even I struggle with things, and try to figure it out. But I just remember who I am. I remember hope. Somewhere in the Bible talk about hope deferred makes the heart sick. And I said, well, ain't that something? My middle name is Hope. So why would I sit here and hopeless? You know, if I got up this morning, that was a chance right there. There's another chance that I got. So just make the best of it. Live your life to the fullest. So I really don't have any regrets or would change anything. Just remember the lessons that was taught, or in that particular storm, or whatever it is that I've gone through.
Okay. So tell me, are there any future endeavors that are on the horizon that we can expect from Kimberly in the near future?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I plan to continue to do what I'm doing, and I hope that, what I'm doing can shed light and bring, just birth out the beauty in other people, that they discover who they are, that self-awareness, and discovering that, hey, I am the gem in this. I'm the number one player in everything that I do. Ball talk, I see my vision is so crazy. I go through, I write down everything. So so that ball talk means that much to me. So as far as that, I plan on seeing it take off on a whole nother level with that. Also, I'm managing the career of a popular artist at this point. Something I dab to do a little bit with, but she trusted me with that. And I'm always up for the challenge. Okay. I'm always up for something that I'm not that skilled at, because that's where that learning comes from. And it's kind of like that momentum to like keep going, keep digging. I've never been afraid to talk to people. I don't care who you are. And I tell you, I don't care what platform you sit on. I'm not intimidated by your title, but what intrigues me is what come out of your mouth. How you deliver. That's important to me, because I'm not just listening to hear what you have to say. I'm learning as well. So for me, the managing tool that I just picked up, or that managing notch that I have on my belt, has been nothing but phenomenal and amazing. So in the near future, expect to see that, a lot of promotions going on as well. And again, with Ball Talk, I haven't forgotten about my 9 to 5, as they call it, but I don't look at it as my job. I'm very much so still in the legal, and I still love doing what I do there. And I just don't foresee me letting that go anytime soon, unless it's like, I win that big old lottery. I gotta play it first. But if I hit big, I'm taking everybody with me. So yeah.
So tell me, what exactly does success look like in your eyes?
Success is just the beginning. I think that success is not measured by money or material things. It's nothing like that to me. Success is accomplishing different things that you set forth. You have to be a dreamer. To be successful, you a dreamer and you a doer. Like, you don't just dream something and say, oh, I'm successful because I dreamed this. Or just because you acquire a lot of things. And don't get me wrong, the things are nice, but those things are not what make you successful. You just so happen to be smart enough to know how to maintain what you got, that wisdom. But success to me is just the beginning of where you're going. Because once you reach that platform or that goal that you set for yourself, successful people have a tendency of creating more goals and more visions to reach. You never can reach the top. It's good to be up there with them that's up there, that's climbing, that's up higher than you, but they're always reinventing themselves. That's what success looked like to me. It's someone that's really producing. And I mean producing and constantly reinventing themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you hope to accomplish once you reach the pinnacle of success? What do you hope to accomplish beyond that?
Set more goals. Keep setting goals. I'm a goal seeker. I like to set stuff. I'm a structured person. So everything for me is structured. Now it don't always go that way. And I'm my own worst critic. So I guess you could say I'm a perfectionist in a sense. The moment it gets thrown off, I'm just in a disarray. And it's like, well, no, let me go back and try to figure this out. It's like putting together a little Tonka truck. And then you realize, oh, this little screw is here. I know this screw was in this pack. It wasn't no extra screw. It needs to go somewhere on this Tonka truck. So me being the type of person, even in life, I started to take apart that Tonka truck. I'm going to take this thing apart because I know this screw belongs in this truck. So now I got to go figure out how to put it back together and make sure that I include all the parts in the right places. So that's what, as far as the success part for me, is just being careful that I'm not too hard on myself, and that it's okay to fail. It's okay to say, ooh, I messed up. It's okay to say, ooh, I failed at that. But you know what? Just because I failed at this doesn't mean that I can't get back up and keep going. So for me, this accomplishing is just teaching my kids, my children, all of them, all gazillion of them. Okay, so I do have 3 kids, but they all act like it's about 1,200 of them. Okay, for real. Yeah. But it's just teaching them that, you're going to have your failures and your ups and downs in life. There are things that you will be successful at, that you're really, really good at. But challenge yourself to keep going, to do things that are even more so above your level. Just go for it. You ain't got nothing to lose. Just leap. Okay, just leave. Yeah.
Well, there's a world full of people right now that are just starting to realize what their purpose actually is. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give them? Would you give those who are just starting out and at the beginning stages of their walk in their purpose?
It's hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's hard. It's hard. I said, and I'm gonna say it just like that. It's hard. And anything that you put forth, when you really love something, you're going to keep digging at it and digging at it and digging at it until you accomplish what you need out of that. And while you're doing that, remember your lessons throughout all of that. Remember what you're learning from all of that. Every time you try something and it seems like you're going to get your nose, like every time you try something and it seems like you're getting the nose too much or it's just not working to your advantage, don't stop. Keep trying to figure out ways to get better. Whatever you do, whatever you put your mind to, because that's where it starts right here, right up here. Whatever you put your mind to, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Just keep going. Do not quit. Because once you forfeit, nobody else cares. Somebody else gonna pick up that same idea and run off with it. And now you've been sitting there going, man, I had that idea. I should have used this. I could have did this. I could have did that. I ain't got time to be living my life on the shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm just saying. But whatever you do, don't quit. Let your failures be your motivation to go harder.
Well, Kimberly.
Yes.
We have just taken a long stroll through the mind of Kimberly Hope.
Yes.
And you have led us down the path of success, inspiration, encouragement, inspirement. We thank you. We see that we are destined for greatness through your eyes. Mm-hmm. And we hope that you have a blessed travel in this successful journey that you're on. Mm-hmm. Before we get out of here, I just want you to let the people know how you can actually be reached.
Well, I am on Facebook under Kimberly Hope. I have another Facebook page that's Two Lilies Inc. Those quotes that I come up with, I write these things as they come to me. So even if I'm asleep, I wake up like literally. I am that person that will pick up a pen and piece of paper while I'm asleep. I have one that's like right by my mantle on my bed. I would get up and write something. If not, I'll roll over and I get my phone. Now these phones are something else, y'all. And I'll record what I remembered just in my dream. So that way I can come back later and write it. But I've always been a writer, and a lot of times retention is everything for me. So I remember what I felt or what I felt like in my dream or what I thought, and I'll write it down. But nevertheless, Two Lilies Inc. is also on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Miss Hope 0429, and it's MZ HOPE 0429. You can reach me by email at kimberlyh.clark@gmail.com or balltalk2022@gmail.com.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The incomparable, the sophisticated, the lovely Kimberly.
Woo, woo. She here. She ready. Well, you know what? I would like to thank you very much, Andrew, for just joining me from New Orleans and to doing this interview. Had a few challenges trying to get it started up and running, but we made it, right? That's that nugget. That's that lesson learned. We're still learning.
Greatness may be delayed, but it'll never be denied.
That part. And I'm learning that even with what we're doing right now. So before we really get out of here, here's some things that I like to do, just like to have fun a little bit. So since I done been on the spotlight, I'm gonna kind of put you on the spotlight, and it's just a random topic, and I usually try to pick something. I call it like pass the mic. So it's just a random topic. So I wanted to know just your advice from you. You asked me what did I want to see happen as far as the greatness and about regrets. Do you have any?
I actually have zero regrets.
No regrets.
The walk that I'm on, the journey that I'm on, the destiny that I'm on, everything, every stumbling block, every brick that was thrown, every puddle that I had to cross, actually molded me into the man that I am.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how bad it may have looked or seemed, there was a purpose in it.
Yeah.
And I took those bricks, I took those stumbling blocks, I took those puddles, and I formulated a foundation. So once I formulated that foundation, I was able to start building.
Right.
And once I started building, I started realizing that just because you're going up with the house don't mean that there won't be a challenge. Maybe you might run into some bricks that don't even fit the mold of the house.
Right.
Now you got to change those things. So my overall outlook is, one day I was sitting down thinking, and it just hit me. And I said, damn, Lord, why is the clouds always looming over me?
Yeah.
Why is it always ringing around me? And God said, if you ever want to really appreciate the rainbow, learn to welcome the rain.
There you go. That's so real talk.
From there, I started looking at life in a vision aspect instead of just having sight. See, I started learning to look past what I could see and visualize what I can gain.
Awesome. So we'll be right back with a short break. I ain't through with you yet. So we'll be right back with a short break, okay? with your girl Kim, and I just brought in 2 extra guests with me as well. And I can't forget about my lovely host, Mr. Andrew Thomas from New Orleans, just joining us from New Orleans, right? So I have Mr. Sean that's here to my far left. I don't know what that look like on y'all side. And I also have Miss Tammy. Is it Tammy?
Hello, yes.
Yes, they're joining me today. So we have a segment called Ask Miss Nick. So I'm gonna bring them in and let them kind of help chime in a little bit about Nick and what these questions are.
Okay.
So so if you guys don't mind. So this one says I am 32 years old and my girlfriend is 58. I moved in with her last month. We love each other very much. And our situation, what is it? I can't see it. Got some stuff going on there. But our situation is not marriage is not on the table for them. So basically, it says my parents are in their 60s and my dad is okay with the relationship, but my mom and sister don't approve of the relationship. Is these women hating on me or what? What y'all think? What y'all think?
You know, that's kind of a touchy situation. I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass that question because I really don't.
You can't pass.
Is these women hating on me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hating on my girl, or what? Are they confused or frustrated? Like what is it? He's confused or frustrated. So
my girlfriend is 58 and I moved in with her last month. We love each other very much, but marriage is not on the table. You know, it could be somebody, there could be some hating, but at the same time, it could be somebody expecting them to go to the next level. You know, they're trying to get them to have a greater commitment, especially when it comes down to the parents. In that situation.
So you don't think that the age difference play a part? Because he's 32 and she's 58.
Ooh, that could be.
That's huge. That plays a huge part. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm saying this. Now watch this. Everybody got to get out of their feelings and get out of their emotions. Okay, let's just get down right to it, baby. Because what do you want with her? You got a whole century that's going on that you've been a part of it. I know a century it's not a century, just a couple of decades. I just exaggerated, right? But you got about 2 decades that's separating them. Okay, you're talking about he's 68.
No, she's 58 and he's 32.
Okay, come on, you just get your room back. What you doing? Come on now. I'm talking about Stella and everybody else getting their groove because what is it? And I know they say that everybody always say age is nothing but a number, right? However, but when you come down to it and you get old, and guess what happens? Because you're gonna get old. Okay, blind, crippled, and crazy. And you get to that point where you got sick, you don't want to be taking care of that person. Come on, that you got to consider all those things. I don't think that they just hating on his girl. I just believe that they're trying to watch out for his self-interest. Because okay, let's talk about the fertilization. Can she still have babies? Do you want to have babies?
Come
on.
Oh well,
let's talk about that. His mom wants to have some grandchildren. Come on, let's go with it now. What we doing? Are we talking about? Look, I was looking at. Are we talking about Elizabeth and Mary? They about to get, the Lord gonna come down and bless her eggs, Jesus.
But do you think? Because he didn't say it. Well, Andrew, did you want to say something?
Yes. Can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
First of all, we gotta look at not only is it a big age difference, the level of maturity is way beyond comprehension right now. At 32, he still has a lot of growing to do. At 58, she's well above her years at 58, and she's really, really, really far ahead of him when it comes to the mature level. At some point, that's going to play a factor. And when it gets to that, what happens when there's an argument? There's 2 different levels of argument right there. Because he's still a young man, so he's going to be more argumentative.
But you don't.
He may be more settled.
But you don't think that young men like old women, like older women.
True story.
So
true story.
I mean, I don't know.
You gotta look at the level of maturity there. They're like older women, but she's twice his age.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
A lot of time, older women like younger men. Also,
yeah.
and I mean, my thing is this, if it's working for them, if they seem to be both okay with it, they both grown, all those are factors. Everything that's been brought up has been a factor, but the bottom line is gonna be what they feel about it, what they feel about. Forget the people hating, forget all the extra and all this. The bottom line is, what do you feel about it?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the mom and the sister, they're more what happens when I have to pick up the pieces.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
And
that's what a mom and a sister is. They're like, listen, at some point my son is gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be the one to have to pick up these pieces.
But dad co-signs it though. But I mean, but dad,
men have a different type of perspective on some things. I'm not saying
well, you done hooked them. Dad co-signed it.
Because he like, hey, you got your sugar mama, got your groove on. We ain't got to take care of you because she gonna take care of you. She almost about to get on Social Security. Come on.
Well, wait. Did you say
the She 58.
Well, yeah, she probably already there.
Into it now. But, 7 more years.
But I mean, I mean, your preference. I don't know. I cannot with the Social Security, baby. She said 7 more years. So, but I mean, okay. So you're a woman of a particular age. Do you date older? I mean, are you married?
I don't date younger men.
Okay.
I have a son though that dated a woman that was my age. And I say, well, could you possibly be okay? Because he ain't gonna get you into heaven. None of that extra stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Because sometimes that extraness. Yeah, flip it up and sunshine and all that.
That ain't what that is.
Okay, come on. And he just did not, and she just did everything for him. Everything.
So that was a mom. I guess he was he was seeking that mother.
Okay, but I'm still living. He better get it together.
But it's a benefit because it's the mom. It's the. This is my girl. Okay, I'll tell you this because I'm big. My grandmother's like the matriarch to me, right? And when I was growing up, she used to tell my brothers and my cousins, the boys, that a man will spend the rest of his life trying to crawl back in the same hole that he was pushed out of. So he looked for that validation and that shelter in that woman. It don't matter if she too young. It's like, no, that's because he done kind of went through some things as a much older man, and he's seeking that young tenderoni. They say, but how? Okay, so in the case of your son, I ain't trying to put him on blast, but in case of your son, what was that conversation like with you?
Oh, my conversation was very raw. I cannot do that on this show. However, what I will tell you, no, seriously, what I will tell you at the end of the day, because I asked her, I said, what are you really wanting from him? Because at the end of the day, guess what? Because that was about 20 years. It was about a 20-year difference as well. I said, guess what? You are not a 24, 36, 24. Young men, even though they with older women, they still looking. Even though they may be seasoned, even though they may be homebody, if they go see something that their appetite is looking for at some time, guess what? Now you want me to go to jail because she gonna hurt you and cut you, and here I come.
Wait, Mama said I'm coming for it. I don't care.
You see what I'm saying?
So
the mother and the sisters in this situation, they might be looking at the same thing. Like he said, they're picking up the pieces because we are emotional creatures. We want to hug our baby and nurture our baby at all times, even when they're 60-some years old. However, you got this situation, and I'm saying no respect to you, and you saying that that's their business because it is their business. But at the end of the day, if he does something out of line, because sometimes we as women, we take money. We do power over men.
Wow.
They're not giving what we want them to give us.
That's heavy,
and
right there.
We have everything. It's a controlling spirit. It's a controlling factor.
Wow.
Come on, let's talk about that thing.
Wow.
And if you don't give me this, I'm not giving you that. Now, they could drive all the type of cars. I'm talking about they laid, lapture,
it's the security.
Everything. They got it going on.
It's a sense of security. Yeah. Well, we're gonna go to the next question because baby, that was deep, baby. You can't tell her she ain't got it. But listen, Mama ready. She said, I came here guns blazing. What? So the next question says, my boyfriend and I, well, this is Shanita, 49 from Fort Worth. She said, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 3 years. And during this time, I have never had a Thanksgiving with him and his family. He says this holiday is for him and his adult children and their grandparents. That's already red flag right there. I was told by another family member that his ex is there as well. Is this a red flag or nothing to worry about?
I would definitely say it's a red flag. I would, because if you're serious about your relationship, you're serious about where it's going, I don't see a problem with having Thanksgiving with the young lady.
Right.
I don't see a problem with it. Now, I would say if he just was told that the ex was going to be there, but he don't know that she's going to be there, don't feed into that.
Right.
You know, yeah.
But 3 years though.
Let's get down to it. y'all want to sugarcoat
Andrew,
this.
Look, we're gonna let this before you get it, because I know you finna let him have it.
Yes,
Andrew, what you think?
Andrew, come on, Andrew, because you with me, Andrew. Come on. And I'm from Louisiana, by the way, too, Andrew. Come on.
In 3 years, for her to never actually go to Thanksgiving with his family in 3 years, and then all of a sudden you pop up and you say this year is for your grown children
and their grandparents,
your grown children and
their grandparents. The family. Yeah.
First of all, the word grown kids. The word grown kids.
So, but
that's the red flag right there when you say you're grown kids.
Right. So keep in mind they're dating now.
Here's the thing. Even if your ex is gonna be there, you're gonna be there with me. I can't control who my family invite.
Right.
But I can control the narrative of who I am and who I'm bringing with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So for him to say this holiday, this Thanksgiving is for his grown kids and his family, it doesn't contain her.
But
it's actually involve her.
It's the dating for 3 years for me. They're not married, so they're not married. So they're not married. Never once did it say they were married. She said we've been dating for 3 years. First of all, I want to know.
She said she's his girlfriend.
Yeah,
so,
that's different. That's a different thing.
Okay, we got a man perspective. He said dating and girlfriends are 2 different levels. So we'll define, please. Define. Help me out, because I thought it was the same on the same level.
Yeah, well,
when you're dating someone, let's say they live together. You don't date someone you live with.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. I'm with you.
Okay.
That's right.
Most of the time, dating is just to see if you're the one. You're dating, you're going out with the person just to see if you is a prospect or a candidate. But when you say girlfriend, you already been chose. Y'all already chose each other. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's the label. Define. Now y'all teaching me something, because listen, I don't do none of it. I just don't. I don't. I don't. I just learned. I don't. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let Mama go ahead, because she ready, baby.
No, it's not a. I have a question though. The question is, what did you define when you all start dating, talking, or just getting busy, bumping the grind? What conversation did you have? Did you say we exclusive? What's really going on, right? And then on top of that, 3 years, that means that your family ain't really met me.
That's true.
Come on.
Maybe a sprinkle here and there, but they've never met
here and there. And even if you don't know your ex is coming, that means that your mother is still cool with your ex,
right?
And talking your business. Come on.
Family member.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So that means that other family members were actually being secretive when it came to what's getting ready to take place.
That's right. And depending on what he done told his family, because he could have told them, no, I ain't doing nothing but dating. I'm just chilling out here, just dating. I don't have no one serious. So guess what? If they like the ex, they're gonna invite the ex so they can get them back together again. So yes, honey, it is a red flag. Where's your worth?
Yeah. So what about year after? Okay, that's got to be some boundaries, and like you said, you got to define some communication between year one and then year two, and you talking about 3 years. Like, what exactly was going on these 1 and 2?
Absolutely, she had a fantasy all of her own in her own mind. And nothing against her. No, I'm serious. There's nothing against her, because we as females sometimes can portray this whole image in our mind of what we want our relationship to be with the person that we are actually bump and grind with.
Yeah, but you said something. Where is her worth? That one question. Where is your worth? So you think you okay just being dating somebody for 3 years? You don't know nothing about his family, but here and there, baby, that's a red flag. It was a red flag after 90 days of me. I ain't met your mama. I ain't met your cousin. Come on now. Come on. I don't know nothing about you. She knows nothing about this dude. She just sleeping with him. They sleeping buddies. That's how I look at it.
You said red flag after 90 days. What is it after 3 years? You talking about 3 years.
She got a stone wall in there. She got a whole secretive thing going on. Okay.
After 3 years, like that part. That's what we try to figure it out. What happened in between that? So So I'm gonna be right back with a short break. You gonna keep going? You must keep going. Okay. Well, so here's the third question, y'all. Ask Miss Nick. This is London 43 from Peoria, Illinois. Says my girlfriend and I have been living together for 8 years. Ooh, child, come on now. But I wanted to get married. She says we are already married. Common law. Okay, we'll get into that in a minute. But it said, which don't work for me. Should I move on because there are some attractive women at my church that I got my eyes on?
All right.
I need some help. Help me. Listen, baby, you already gone.
Yeah,
you already gone, boo.
Ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there.
For him to say that attractive women at my church I got my eyes on, he's already moved on.
Yeah, and he's already gone. Like, it starts in the head. It starts in the head. You done already moved on. What you think?
I think so. I think he wants something that she don't want. And at this point of her life, she really is not. When she say, well, it's just common law, that's another way to say, listen, that ain't what I want.
Yeah,
that ain't what I want. So I don't think from his perspective, I don't think after when you're in a relationship and it's not producing what you expect, or what you want out of a relationship, that's on both sides. If it's not producing, move on. Wow. Because otherwise you're just settling.
Yeah.
But
she found a way to be convenient in the relationship.
Oh, that is.
I tell you,
that's that Louisiana talking
all day. You heard me? Go ahead.
She found the convenience in the relationship.
Yeah.
She's so comfortable with it that she's at a place right now where if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. It's like that expectation thing. Like, she set no type of boundaries, no type of. It's just, I expect this what it is. Like you said, that common law is just what it is, and this is just what we're gonna do. How we gonna roll with this? So,
But let's talk about him though. Yeah, let's talk about him as well, because we've established where she is, and then on top of that, let's do the surface with her. So what has happened in her past that she does not want to be married, or has she already been married before? You see what I'm saying? Because most women, when they already been married before, and if they scorn so heavily, they never want to marry again. So they're fine with common law.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? But let me talk about him real quick. What is it that he wanted? Did he establish that with her? Because apparently he did not. Because if he would have, he still wouldn't have eyes for someone already in the church. That means you've been having eyes and you've been dipping and slipping. Come on, slide and glide. Let's just get that together. He been slid and glid already with somebody in the church.
Yeah, 8 years. But he wants to get married. Do you think that's
the reason why she don't want to marry?
Hey, come on. That's right.
Maybe this is what she's seen in the beginning.
Yeah.
But
8 years, this is probably what he's shown her.
Yep.
He flirts. He backdoors and
But wait.
small things to the women in the church. So maybe this is why she doesn't like him.
That's right. That's right, Andrew.
Well,
I'm with you.
if that's the case, why even stay together?
Convenience. Convenience. You built for 8 years. You got to think about it. When you with somebody for over 8 years or 8 years, you got cars, furniture, you got all types of things that's tied into everything, and it's convenience. That means that y'all sharing bills, y'all sharing whatever else it is. Now you got to think about if I leave her, even if she make more money than me, oh God, come on.
Well.
Is this like young lady in the church? Let me find out how many dividends she got. That's why he ain't moved. That's why he's slipping and sliding and gliding.
Yes.
Even with that said, that's lack of confidence. I mean, why stay stuck to somebody just for material gain or some type of convenience? Because you still stuck.
But people do it all day, every day. But people do it all day, every day. They even do it in jobs.
And but you. Okay, I'm still stuck on the part when he said, but I want to get married. The only thing after 8 years, when did you say, at what point, what happened in this 8 years that now you really adamant about getting married? He didn't say I dated her for, we've been together for 8 years. And he said, well, in 2 years, I wanted to get married. Like, where does define this relationship? Like, what was it?
Well, watch this though. His wording says, I want to get married. He says, I want. So he wants to get married. Now, he don't want to marry her.
Oh, uh-oh.
Come on now. Here we go. He don't marry her. There's some qualities and quantities that she got that he don't want.
And the door to the church is open.
Come on. But because of convenience, again, I get it. I'm not disagreeing with your opinion. However, convenience is a holder. You can be convenient and be in a relationship, and your mind thinking, well, what am I gonna do if I leave them? I ain't gonna be able to live the type of life I want to live.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
He using common law because he ain't using common sense.
Oh, I like it.
And what you say? You right about that. She using common law and he's not using common sense. But how do you fix it?
Leave.
That ain't going nowhere. That relationship ain't going nowhere. It's stuck.
But it's gonna stay there if he doesn't make up his mind. Because guess what? Like you all said, he's already gone. And when you already gone in your mind, you done already slipped and slide somewhere else too. Now you done had lunch. You done had a conversation.
She's using common law. She's already gone.
She already gone. That's right. Her too.
Israel.
Yeah. So they just got to be honest about it. Yeah. They got to be honest.
Don't
about
nobody want to hurt it.
Right. But now one thing was said that she said. This is what said. Even if he slipped aside, she said, in my mind, we are already married. As far as I'm concerned, we already married. So she ain't really trying to go nowhere really herself.
She didn't win. That's 8 years. She didn't win. She didn't win. She got common law on her side. She didn't win. Because she telling him if you leave, because if he making more money than her, if he leaves, I'm suing you because it's common law.
Well, as long as the states recognize it.
Absolutely.
And he don't have common sense to understand
that. Right.
Yeah. But one thing I've seen over the years, especially when it comes to a woman, she knows how to get out of a situation.
Well,
when she gets tired of that situation, 9 times she know how to get out.
That's why she ain't got out. Because of the fact that she's committed to be convenient.
Oh wow.
See, a man will try to hold on sometimes, but when that woman go, she gone.
She's committed to be convenient.
Well. Yeah. The next question is going to be a little X-rated. I don't know, y'all, if I can handle this, but we're going to go with Danielle, 41 from Tulsa, Oklahoma, says, I am engaged to be married as of June of 2023. My fiance is an awesome guy, and I love him very much. Our dilemma is that I love to talk dirty during sex, and he doesn't like it. He says, it seems like I am thinking about my ex-boyfriend. This is how I reach my orgasm. So, wait a minute.
I'm gonna let the men take that one, girl, because I
Men,
got something on it, but I need to hear
Danielle
y'all.
want to know. You know, boyfriends. She like to talk dirty. Come on, men. We gonna be quiet for a second. I won't hear what y'all say.
The thing is, if that's the way that she reaches that level, he ought to be glad that he's able to get her to that level.
What?
I'm
thinking about the ex though.
Girl, I'm surprised he said that.
What?
No, that's in his mind. That's in his mind.
He's
she didn't say it. He think that she's
he
talking
thinks
about the
that
ex.
she's thinking about her ex.
I think that adds spice to the session. I think it adds spice to the sexual part of relationship.
He said add spice.
Yeah, because I mean, if this was gonna get her to her climax, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Spice. What you think?
Now watch this.
Come on, watch it, cause I'm ready.
Listen, if that's the way she's gonna reach it, if you take that away, you might start losing her.
But you didn't know so anyway, because watch this. As a man, and y'all are men that saying what y'all say, I'm so shocked and surprised because I have talked to some men before. If a man is not confident in what he carrying and what he's packing and what he's floating with his boat, and he's thinking in his mind, because she didn't talk too much, talking about some this way me and my boyfriend, my husband, get that. You're talking too much, girl. Shut up. So in his mind, I can't satisfy her enough that she can't think about me.
But she never said that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's insecure. But he's insecure.
That's his insecurity.
But that is that's what I'm saying though.
But in the moment, she is talking dirty to him, not to her ex.
Right, but he is so insecure because of what she's told him
in the past.
about what her ex used to do in the past. So therefore, that's why he in his mind, because she know that he don't do the dirty talk.
Well, you know what? That's two different. It's really an imbalance.
It's imbalance.
Because
it is.
You're on two different pages, and it's going to always be a conflict of interest anytime they connect like that.
Right, and I agree. And then also go ahead. I'm sorry.
He can't control what he do. She can't control what he likes. He can't control what she likes. So already there's a conflict there. So it'll never be a equilibrium when it comes to them.
Well, I think it will be a little bit of a equilibrium there if they sat down and he won't be afraid of having sex talk, because that's what it sounds like. That either he's never been introduced to it, or he's afraid of it, or someone hasn't.
He trauma.
Or traumatized.
Because, I mean, okay. We women.
Yeah, come on.
How I'm trying to work this right. I'm gonna be. You don't like talking dirty? How you get to? We gotta be warmed up. So if we not like it, you don't just rub me a little. Look, baby, you gotta have to talk a little something. Talk to me, because I mean, come on. I know men can. Off the bat, right? But we're like cars that's been sitting in the cold,
right? So my question is he so sanctified and a pastor? He's a sanctified pastor, and I don't mean nothing. Whoever listened, oh please don't take that personal. But I'm just saying, sanctified pastors, they we can't do you can't don't want to talk dirty.
That's gotta be a priest.
That's some sanctified pastors out there. They so sanctified, that girl, they sanctified. Girl, you can't put on no makeup or nothing. You can't be appealing or nothing. You can't put on no lingerie. I know it's lingerie. You can't put on no lingerie or nothing.
That's a boring. Baby, that's kind of boring to me. I'm sorry.
We are not in the 1960s and 50s no more.
Yeah, he's just insecure. He's insecure. That's what that is.
It's just insecurity. What the next question is gonna be about the? Let me get out of that. The next question is gonna be about the church. So, Kenesia, 34 from Mobile, Alabama, says, "I am very adventurous and spontaneous having sex. Stopping on the side of the road, going to the bathroom while we attending a banquet, etc., etc." Oh, child. We attend a mega church in the city. And my fantasy is to have sex in one of the classrooms while the pastor is giving his sermon.
Ooh.
My fiance says this is crossing the line.
That's right.
Girl, what is going on? This crossing the line. What should I do? It's gratifying for me. She said it's for her. Now, this kind of stems off from the last question, even though we don't know what their status was. But look, baby, what do you got going on that you fantasizing about having sex while the pastor is preaching? Come on now. Now, before church get you a little something, you know, I get it. Spontaneous, I get it. It's just something about this.
Inside the church.
Respect the Lord.
Inside the church. Lord, she want Gabriel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Oh, Lord, let me get the name and say Christopher.
That's cold blood. But you know what? Know what it is? Because notice what she say. She say, I want to have sex while the pastor preaching. It's really sound like she turned on by the pastor. It really sounds like she want to hear him while she having sex fantasizing about the pastor.
Well, get the CD and go and do a role play at your house. And set the room up as the temple of the church and the classroom that you want. And had a CD player.
It's the unpredictable places that she's speaking of.
They're bad. That's bad.
Listen, I can see if you said you want to go in the airport. You know what I'm saying? That's a wet. But you're speaking of church. That's a whole different level of disrespect.
Yeah,
it is.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And just like she said, you know, listening to the pastor as the pastor preach.
They not married, right?
That's the fiance. Yeah, she's the fiance.
Okay, baby, listen. See, I'm gonna go ahead and chime in with the husband, the fiance, the boy.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level, like you said, Drew. That's a whole nother level of disrespect.
Absolutely.
Right,
absolutely.
Baby, come on. I get you want to get to your urge and that. Ooh, child, you want it's gratifying, but the church though, like, while the pastor preaching, you want to go in the classroom. What if them babies walking in?
It ain't even a disrespect to the pastor.
Yeah,
to God,
right,
yeah,
right, and to her husband, because of the fact that how do you really honor God, and how are you honoring me being your fiance?
Yeah, that's a whole nother. That's another level.
I got it. When you're on the bathroom on side the road, you're taking a road trip. You want to do it in the dark, in the park. You might want to do it on the outside of the church, on the outside at midnight. I got all of that. I got all of that. But you want to be inside the building. Oh God,
that is insane.
Oh
man,
yeah, that's kind of bad. That's bad business.
That's horrible. But it just it's crazy. That's on a whole nother level. Girl, get some therapy. But last question. Damon, I think it's Damon or Damien. Damon, 45 from Frisco, Texas says, my wife was raised in the hood. Power to hood. I am from the suburbs. We already know where it's going. We got into this big fight about paper plates and dinnerware. She like eating off paper plates. And myself, like nice dining wear, like the dinnerware, Even when we bring takeout food home, she says the damn boogeyman. She said the boogeyman for what is it? The bougie. She's bougie. Okay. She said she's calling him bougie.
Yeah.
This is too
what y'all
bougie.
think?
Okay. Well, she from the hood. But that don't have, to me, I can't see the two because it really don't have no different do one with the other. I mean, even though she from the hood, she ain't always ate off paper plate. I'm sure somebody in the hood she done ate out of a regular plate. You know what I mean? And so that's to me, I'm be honest with you. To me, that's stupidity.
It's petty.
It is, yeah. It because that don't mean one way or another. You bougie because you eat out of a plate. Ain't that what we do?
Well, yeah. It don't. It really don't. He wants.
Well, what he trying to do is introduce her to a
find a thing.
Find a
Come
thing.
on, Drew.
Okay.
What he's saying is, we making it now. You don't have to do that.
But why the argument though?
But wait a minute. I got a different question. You knew she was from the hood when you married her.
But what?
So you already knew how she was going to act. What you thought she was going to change because she married you? Because you done took her out of the hood?
Like it should have been some mold.
See, that's the problem, though.
She's comfortable eating out of the plate.
She's come on.
He shouldn't be mad at what she chose to eat.
So he wanted to change her when he got married to her. I don't know why people get married thinking they can change a human being.
Mm-hmm.
We change because of the situation and the circumstance. Because anytime that a person changes for another person, we're going to go right back to what we familiar with, which is the hood.
That part.
I'm from the hood.
This how it would be. Go ahead and eat out your plate. Make sure you wash it when you finish.
That's right. And
well, you know, exactly. Because me, myself, personally, for real, baby, give me that paper plate because I don't feel like washing dishes. At the end of the day, I don't feel like washing dishes. I ain't got time for no argument. I don't feel like washing dishes.
And I see his point too, though, because let me tell you, we from Louisiana, and I'm from the country part of Louisiana. My grandmother has always said, when you fix the plate, you fix it on a plate and not a paper plate. When you fix the food for a man, you give that man on a plate and not a paper plate. But that's the way I was reared. I'm not saying that because I wasn't reared in the hood. However, again, you knew what she was before you married her.
Let me say something. I'm from the hood, and it don't make no difference. Whatever plate you want to put the food on, I'm gonna get with it.
Just fix my plate first.
Just fix my plate.
Fix my plate. As long as I can be put in my stomach. The food don't care where it's served on. It just care about where it's going.
But I get him. He is, and you did say it, Andrew. He's trying to show her the finer things in life. I get that, but you should have showed her finer things before you married her.
It's that whole,
come on now.
It's the whole argument, though.
Like, yeah, because why is it argument? So that means that. So is this a dire thing that you gonna divorce her because she wanted? Come on now. Are you trying to find a way out?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Mm-hmm. So
on that note, baby, look, these paper plates done did it for me. But last question. Good sex wins. This is the last question. I'm gonna go ahead and basically sum this up. It's really not a question, but more of a statement.
Oh, I got
it. You got it? Okay, so it is a question because I thought it was gonna be one of them statements that I would have to make on this one. But this question is about good sex wins. Is that right? Yeah. So Kimmy is 41 from Colorado Springs, Colorado. She says, my husband and I have been married for about how many years? I can't see it. How many years you been married? About a year?
1 year.
About 1 year? Okay. And now, for about 1 year now. And sex is pretty good because doing lovemaking, I cry sometimes when I reach my orgasm. Is this normal? And should I keep the bed, I can't see it, bed wet with my tears? So what do y'all think? She cries.
You know, everybody has their own way.
They vices
of what they do when they reach climax. When they reach a climax, I don't think nothing wrong with it. If that's what she do when she reach her climax, I don't see nothing wrong with it. She says and the question was, should I keep the bed wet with my tears? In other words, what she's saying, should I continue to cry when I have an orgasm? That's how you get it.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with the way that she reached her climax. I don't.
Well, first of all, she's showing a sign of affection by saying that she's actually reaching the peak that she's looking for. And if that's your way of expressing it, then by all means keep doing what you're doing. You know, because if you start doing something different, it may not be as pleasurable to you.
You mean to her for that in that matter? Because
in that manner, that's what I'm saying. It may not be as pleasurable to her if she changes and does something else.
Because I see two things here. Okay, and I'd like to see two things. You know, what is it because it's that good that you crying? Or is it because it's new?
Well,
she said it was good.
Yeah, no, is it that good? Is that the reason why you're crying, or is it because it's new? You see what I'm saying? Like it's new.
It seemed like she
because they only been together for a year.
But they was
Yeah.
getting busy for the year. I'm
Yeah,
just saying. Go
probably so.
ahead.
Probably so.
They been married for a year.
But it seemed like she was emotionally connected during the sexuality, and this is the emotion that came forth because she's so pleased until this is the emotion that came forth.
Wow.
I have a question though. Yes, I got to get this question now. Watch this. I got a question now.
Watch it.
Now my question is this: you've been crying all this time when you reached this orgasm. So why now is it a concern? Is he complaining about the crying? Or are you feeling some type of way that if you continue to cry, he ain't gonna give it to you like this all the time? Or are you thinking that he might not be able to uphold what he's been giving to you? So what's really the real question here? Because you're saying, should I continue to wet my bed with my tears? So come on, watch it.
Go back to the slide. She said she cries sometimes.
Go back to the slide. Let me see it.
Did she say sometimes?
Let me see this again.
What the hell?
My
She did
husband,
say,
I
"Let
had
me."
for
I cry
about a year, and
sometimes when I
sex
reach
is pretty
my
good because doing
That's
love
what
makes
she
me cry. Sometimes when I reach
Is
my
it
organ,
normal?
when I reach my organ,
Yes.
so she don't reach it all the time. Okay,
Well, the question, she asked the
That's a
question.
whole different twist right
that
there.
is that's
Yeah.
a whole different twist. So she's cried sometimes. So the other times when see what I'm talking about. What you doing? You ain't crying. You just there. Okay. And you ain't reached your orgasm. I'm just trying to ask a question. I don't mean no harm. I'm just asking the question. So sometimes he's good and sometimes he's not.
I just don't feel like it.
Because you've been married a year, so before the year that you have sex, was sometimes he good and sometimes not. Because you knew when he was good. So when you cried, that going back to you, it's good when she cried. Okay. So he probably asking the question. Well, baby, what about the other times?
What about the
I didn't
he's questioning something.
Right.
He's questioning
For her
something.
to ask the question, should she continue to wet her bed with her tears?
Girl, you need to be worried about wetting the bed with not the tears.
That she cried because she didn't get it.
Come on, look, he ain't performing like the way it was. I'm crying because you need to come on with it. Come on again.
That's gonna lead to a whole nother conversation.
And it does.
Like, what's going on? You ain't been crying lately. What's up with that?
Right. What you doing? You been out? You slipping and tipping? What's happening?
Somebody else making her cry. Wet the bed with some other tears.
You see what I'm saying?
What's going on?
Because sometimes she do it, sometimes she don't.
I missed that whole sometimes.
I did too, because sometimes she feel like a nut and sometimes she don't.
Oh my God.
And
Oh my God.
And she asked, "Is this normal?" She asking the question. Is this normal?
Yeah, it's normal. Because if it ain't good, sometimes you won't cry. If it's real good, you will. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. But seriously, it's an emotional attachment.
Yeah.
You know, it's how you feeling about your partner.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So what are you really feeling about your partner? So now we're talking about how do you feel about him after a year of marriage? Is it that you don't want to be where you are anymore?
Wow.
That's good.
Well, I so thank y'all because y'all have really done turned this a whole nother thing. Oh my goodness. Well, I wanted to first, before we wrap this up, I wanted you guys to tell me a little bit about your ministry.
Okay, my name is Sean, and I'm an apostle called by God. And what we do, we bring healing to the broken man. We restore the broken man. When I say man, I'm talking about mankind. And we deal with people that deal with suicide, depression, addiction. And I believe that God has called me in this area for such a time as this, to be able to confront, even as some of the questions, you know, we get all that. The pastors, we get all those questions. The same thing.
Just being transparent.
Being transparent. I believe he called me into this city for such a time as this. We have a big vision. The name of our ministry is Citizens of the Kingdom. We believe in kingdom principle, the kingdom of God, you know, and not just church as usual, but we flow from the dimension of an apostolic prophetic ministry, and we deal with with kingdom. He's the King of Kings. He's the King of Kings. We are the citizens of the kingdom of God.
That's awesome. Because in order to establish that kingdomship, you didn't have to be down here somewhere. It ain't just popped up on you in order to know how to raise these kings, these young men, kings up. You know what I mean? So that's very interesting.
As you begin to speak, one of the things you asked me when we was talking, I'm from the hood. My life story, I got books out on my life. I got a book out called A Breaking Point about my life. And I come out of gangs. I come out of the prison. I come out of the drug scene. That's where I come from. And I believe that God has raised me up because in order to be able to be effective in reaching people on that level, they not going to listen unless you can identify with them. You have to be able to identify with people. You know, it's easy for me to say, I know where you at, but in all actuality, I don't know where you at. You know, but when you've been there, you can be able to identify with people that's been there. You know, and then even as Tammy was saying, we don't come to the point where we are so heavily minded until we know earthly good.
Oh wow! You can say them out.
So we have to be able to reach all men in every man's world.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right, Miss Tammy, what do you do? What do you do?
I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. It has been a privilege because, everybody cannot do what you do. Come on, in the name of Jesus. So walk into what your journey is.
Ooh, child, so
I am the Tammy Riggs, and already, right? I'm the watch this. So Andrew, I'm with it. Watch this. But I wrote a book called Why Women Won't Tell. And Why Women Won't Tell platform was about forgiving your past, standing in your present, and looking towards your future. Let's go obtain it. Let's go get it. As Sean, yes, I had to remember the name because I was about to call him apostle. As Sean stated, and I ding sometimes mostly on that because when you so heavily bound until you're not earthly good, you got gasoline draws on trying to bust heaven wide open, set down because of the fact that we forget that we have a past. We forget you the saying, stop, get them skeletons out your closet. Exactly. We're trying to reach the younger person. We're trying to reach even the people our age because of the fact that who are our leaders now today? All of our leaders have died and gone, and you have leaders that's raising up right now, and we need to stand up, become the community that we want to see again. Stop pointing fingers, stop blaming everybody for our mishaps, and let's go get what belongs to us. We are kings and queens. We developed most of everything that's on this earth. We created it or had a hand in it. So I ask where all of our innovators are. We need to be getting back to our innovation of what we do because God created us to be creators. We're sitting at our jobs. I'm not saying don't go to work, but I'm saying wake up the entrepreneur that's within you and let's go get what belongs to us.
That's right. Go get it.
Because it's things that belongs to us. Let's stop the excuses. So that's the platform that we stand on, and we stand on freedom. Freedom looks different to everybody, but you can be free. You can.
And it starts here.
It starts all in the mind, all in our minds, and where it starts at. And we talk our own selves out of our blessings. Oh, I can't do this. Or what if that does do it? Then what? Just like the young man and the young woman, the convenience. We'd rather stay in convenience than to go step out on faith.
Oh, child, you better leap. I was just talking about that earlier, that you got to know when to leave. You got to know when to leave.
Yes.
Andrew, what is your ministry? What exactly is your ministry?
Well, a ministry is one life, one love, one people. Basically, what that entails is no matter who you are, no matter what ethnic background you come from, no matter what walk of life you come from, we're all just one people. Yeah. We all will arrive as kings and queens. So what I look to do is inspire each and every man, woman, female, boy, girl, to actually look deep inside themselves and see the greatness inside them.
Yes.
And to operate in that greatness. You see, we all have a destination, but until we understand our destiny, the destination that will be so far ahead we won't be able to reach it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Mm.
awesome.
Right now, I have a book that I'm writing right now called Rise Above the Now.
That's good.
Mm.
And
That's
what
good.
that book entails is no matter where you stand at this present time, there's a greater height that you can reach.
Yeah.
And the greater height past that you can reach. So as long as we keep on seeing that there is vision beyond our sight, we'll reach those destinations.
Mm-hmm.
See, we can put our hand in front of our face and see and see our hand.
Mm-hmm.
But if we stretch our hand out for miles and miles, hopefully we can see our hand when we get close to it again. So that means that don't just look at you having sight.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to operate in your vision.
That's good.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
good.
So I look to inspire man, woman, child, boy, girl to
Okay.
walk into
That's
the
good.
parameters of the greatness that's inside you, and
Awesome.
don't look at what the world sees. I shared this with some kids the other day. I said, listen, a window and a mirror are both made of glass. People are going to look at you from those two perspectives. Now, if they look at you through the mirror, they can see clearly through the other side who you are and have a perception of who you are.
Mm.
But if they look at you in the mirror, they can see clearly who you are.
Mm.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah.
Don't look at yourself through the perspective of the window. Look at yourself in the perspective of
Of
the
the
mirror.
mirror, because it's reflecting of who you are. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I would like to thank my guest host, Andrew Thomas. Thank you so much. And Miss Tammy, Why Women Won't Tell. Is
Yes,
that right?
ma'am.
Miss Won't
Yes,
Tell?
ma'am.
And also Mr. Sean Apostolic. What's the name of your ministry one more time?
Citizens of the kingdom.
Citizens of the Kingdom. And I did not get where you guys can be reached. We probably don't have it right now. But Andrew, where can they reach you if they want to? If someone wanted to reach
I'm
out
on
to you?
Facebook, Andrew Thomas, and I'm on Instagram at ALThomas125.
Okay. And what about you, Miss Tammy?
I am on Instagram, Riggs Tammy 1, and on Facebook, Why Women, my book, Why Women Won't Tell.
Okay. And what about you, Mr. Sean?
I'm on Facebook as well, Sean Mosley. We're just reestablishing ourselves in the Dallas-Fort Worth area,
Okay.
so we have not really put everything in place right now.
Okay. Where are you
Yeah.
from? Where you
I'm from Florida. I'm from Miami,
from
Florida.
Miami in the house. So you done brought it to Dallas. You done brought it to Dallas. How long have you been here?
I've been here right now maybe about 3 months.
About 3 months.
Yeah.
Already. Well, see, that's all right. I'm gonna bring y'all back.
That's
Look, I'm
That's
gonna
in the
bring y'all
Dallas-Fort
back.
Worth area. I've been in
Okay.
Texas a little longer,
Little
but in the
longer.
Dallas-Fort Worth area about 3
Okay.
months. Yeah.
Okay, Miss Tammy, you're from
Louisiana.
what part?
That's right. Already,
you're
you
from
heard me?
Dallas?
I'm from Tallulah, though.
Tallulah. That's all right. See, for those
All
that
right.
don't know, it's close to Nowlands. It's
Yeah,
close to Nowlands.
it is.
Yeah.
All right, you heard me. That's what's up now.
Yes. And Andrew, you're in New Orleans on the West Bank, right?
I'm from the 504.
504.
Go ahead with the 318. We ain't even mad.
Yes. Well, again, I would like to thank y'all so much for joining me on the show today. And
Thank you
as
for having
always, Andrew, thank you so much. And I would love to bring y'all back again on a different show,
Absolutely.
different segment.
Yeah.
And we get real raw and ratchet if we want to. That's how we do it. But I would love to bring you guys back again. And so thank you so very much. And with that being said, thank you guys for listening and tuning in to Ball Talk with Kim, smoothing out the truth with hope. See you next time.